Yeah. Cold out there. Good morning, guys. So this is day 3, although we're going to have to stop counting the days because eventually we're going to forget. But yesterday what we talked about was that we didn't have anything a lot really to talk about because we didn't plan on it. But today we were going to do top 10 cars you refuse to have in your garage. And it occurs to me that it's going to take a really long time to think about 10 cars that you absolutely refuse from the both of us. And so we should probably do top 5 cars, not in any particular order, that you refuse to have in your car. So Chew, you go first. You just list them out, and then we'll go through and talk about why.
Okay.
In fact, we can just take turns. You do one, I'll do one. That way, yeah.
My first one would be the Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Any particular or all Eclipses?
All of them.
Ooh. I feel like I'm going to disagree with you on something there, but we'll go into that, when we go back. I'm going to go with the Geo Metro.
Geo Metro?
Yeah, Geo Metro. Alright. What about you next?
The Yaris.
The what? The Yaris?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm going to meet you there and say Prius. Look at us alienating an audience, potential audience.
Oh, the whole Prius thing?
Yeah, essentially.
Right. Man, what was it? The Chevy Probe.
The Chevy Probe?
Yeah.
I know of a Ford Probe. I've never heard of a Chevy
Ford Probe.
Ford Probe. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna go with the Hyundai Veloster.
Okay.
Both the turbo and the regular, the NA.
I will go with wow, a lot of cars I hate.
You got 2 more.
Trans Am.
Trans Am. Wow, I'm really surprised about some of these cars here that you got here. Okay, I'm gonna go with, man, you know what? Because I would never have the opportunity to have one of these in a garage, but I don't want one even if I did. The Reliant Robin.
I think it's a funny car to drive.
Okay. You'd have to get like skid plates.
Yeah, but just to know the fact that you're like a time bomb on the road, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. You got 1 more.
I just had it. What was it? Toyota Cresta.
That's really weird. You've got some strange things on here that I didn't expect. I'm going to go with any variation. Not that I have any problems with the car as it is. It's just that it's not, like, I have absolutely zero desire to ever own one. No variation of the Beetle. No interest in any Beetle. All right, so we're going to go down your list first, and we'll say you've got the Mitsubishi Eclipse in all variants.
Yep.
So tell me what do you feel about that? Why do you feel about that?
Well, on specs, mechanical wise, it's good. Four-wheel drive.
I forgot. You
turbo.
hate on DSMs because of, like, what was your excuse that you told me when I was like, yeah, I'm going to get a VR4, and I went and got the VR4? Crank walk.
Right.
That's what you're like, crank walk, crank walk. And I was like, yeah, okay, all right.
But main reason why is that the Eclipse in all generations, I just didn't think they looked good. They look ugly. Their interior is even worse.
The interior is not great, no.
And I couldn't fathom what they were doing with that car style. Like, the butt was way too round, too big, out of proportion compared to the rest of the car. And yeah, the body lines were like a fat chick. I'm sorry.
It was like a fat chick. Okay.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, I don't know. Like the GSX specifically. Okay, let's rewind. I had an opportunity to drive. And I've never owned one. I have no desire to own one. I guess. I mean, I would. I don't have a desire. Like if I had infinite cars. But I had the opportunity to drive an Eclipse. It was not. It was the last generation that they made. No, it wasn't. It was the one right before the last generation that they made. And it was okay. Like it was fine. Like because I was in San Diego and just driving around San Diego was totally fine. But the GSX in what are we looking at?
Check engine light?
Oh yeah. The cold temperature and yeah, it's fine. The catalytic converter on this car hates the world. But anyway, so the GSX, all-wheel drive, turbo. I feel like it's a good car. It had issues like all the people in the community, like if I'm not mistaken, people had like transmission issues, and I don't know if they used the Getrag transmission or whatever, but and I don't know if it was for sure the transmission or maybe like a transfer case or something. I don't know what for sure the issue was, but I don't know. And the body lines on the last generation GSXs, I really liked it. I don't know. I didn't really like it. It just I didn't hate the body lines, but to each their own. Next thing you got on your list is the Yaris. Tell me about why you wouldn't have the Yaris.
First, I guess I should, because it's not a sports car, of course, but at the same time, it's ugly, it's small. But I guess I should give it some points because it does what it does, which is save gas, and it's really cheap, brand new. But there's nothing special about it. It's a car that just gets you from point A to point B.
So it's like a soulless experience?
Pretty much.
Okay. All right. That's fair enough. Next one that I was really surprised with is you got the Ford Probe. I mean, there's not a lot. You go, oh man, that's a Ford Probe.
Right.
But it's not like, holy God, it's a Ford Probe. Like, yeah. So what's the deal with the Ford Probe?
Why? Because people, it's aggravating when you have an MR2 and people tell you that's a nice Ford Probe or a Fiero. So yeah.
No one's ever told me that.
Yeah.
It was about, I guess it was a year that I was driving the MR2, and no one ever told me that. I did go to a gas station, and this guy barely spoke any English. Like, it was the worst broken English ever. And he goes, in the MR2, like, we're getting off the Ford Probe, but he's like, oh man, I love these cars. Like, he was going on about how he loves those cars, right? I assumed he was talking about MR2s. And then I was like, yeah. And then he's like, what is it? And I was like, it's an MR2, so I guess he loves them, but had no idea what they were. I don't know. But no, the Ford Probe, again, haven't owned a Ford Probe, but there's a long story that I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about Ford Probes, and so I experienced.
Did it involve a chick?
No. It's a buddy of mine from a long time ago, and we drove a Ford Probe to the ground. Literally killed that car. Killed it.
Is this the one where you guys left it at the lot?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Although he may very well wind up watching this show, and so
Yeah,
I don't want to go into details about it. But the thing is, I don't want to feel like I'm like telling a story that I'm not supposed to tell.
Yeah,
But
go on.
But anyway, it wasn't a bad car for a front-wheel drive car. And then there's the Ford Probe GT, which is there. And the thing is, the Ford Probe is really a Mazda. But so I don't know. I wouldn't absolutely exclude it, and maybe it's because of sentiment. But yeah. And next up, again, another one that I'm like, I really wouldn't want one, but I wouldn't be absolutely exclusive of it. The Trans Am.
You meet a lot of them in Fresno.
Okay.
And I think it's kind of the same stigma with you and your STI.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's in that similar mindset. So
Okay.
I won't say go anymore because I'll probably get in trouble if I go. And
Right. No, I get what you're saying. Like I was like, I don't want to put a Honda Civic in there because I've owned a Honda Civic, but and I owned probably the worst kind of way a Honda Civic, but yeah, no, like same reason. There's a stereotype there, and there's a I don't know. Yeah, all right. And the last one, I actually wanted to comment on it. I get why you're saying it, and I, for all of you that don't know, I would never go out and purchase an STI, or a Subaru at all, for that matter. I think if someone gave me one, I'd keep it around, I guess. I've got a buddy, Dave, who has an STI, and I drove it, and whatever. I've driven several STIs, but that one I drove for a little bit. But there's a stigma around the STIs. The STI isn't a horrible car. It's just that in my opinion, there are much better cars that are equipped equivalently. But the STI is there's a crowd that goes behind it that we kind of experience here, and I'm just not a fan. But the Trans Am are we talking all Trans Ams, or are we talking the old Trans Ams, the new Trans Ams?
I'm talking about the old ones.
Okay, like not the curvy ones.
Yeah, not the curvy ones.
Okay, all right. The Trans Am isn't my first go-to, but I feel like if you're a red-blooded American or something, you're not supposed to whatever. All right, and last one, I have no personal interest in these things aesthetically. Aesthetically, they're very ugly to me. You got a Cressida. Why Cressida?
Because I drove one for a
And?
while. It was 81, 82, and it was a brick with wheels. Literally, it had torque, no power, and really crappy gas mileage.
That only came with the 2JZ, right?
No, it was a 5M.
Oh.
I believe it was a 5M.
And
It
well,
was a 6M.
I don't think the 6M. The 6M, I think, was exclusive to Japan.
Okay.
Well, at least exclusive to not the U.S. So okay. And what was in yours? Not the 2JZ, then I guess.
No.
Oh, okay. But it was still
the ones
inline
over here
six.
never came in JZ format or any variant.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The ones that did come up, I think, were like the 91, 92, but we didn't get them over here. I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, I can see. Like, I feel like the only reason to own a 2JZ or a Cressida would be because it has a 2JZ. The Japanese variants had 2JZ.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what it is.
I think they did. But either way, the ones over here, like, just literally suck balls. Like, it was ugly. It was literally a family car. And yeah, it had the gas guzzling family car.
Okay. All right. That concludes your list. First one on my list, Geo Metro. Do I need to explain that one?
No?
Okay. Next one, Prius. Prius has merit. It's a hybrid. It gets great fuel economy if you're just putzing around town, etc. And all of the Prius drivers out here feel like they're do-gooders to the extreme. They want you to know they're do-gooders to the extreme, and as a result, they are assholes. Like assholes. So, I feel like the Prius didn't ruin it for me. The people that drive Priuses ruined it for me.
Oh, they're like that smug attitude.
I guess, yeah.
I'm better than you.
Quickly going down our list because we only have about a minute and a half. Yeah. Next one is the Veloster, and you know why I don't like the Veloster, but for the rest of the world that doesn't know, that car needs to be called something different, like not a Veloster. When you think Veloster, you're like, oh man, velocity, and things gotta be fast. It's not. It is sluggish in both its NA and turbo variants. It just wasn't good. I drove both, and it wasn't good. They're very well equipped for the bang for the buck for what you get. You get a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on a brand new car for sub 20 grand, and great. I guess they're there. Like, I don't know. Hyundai is definitely stepped up their game. If you could not get me in a lake, like if you get me closer.
I'm going over here then.
Oh, okay. But Hyundai has definitely stepped up their game. I feel like since, like there was that the Tokyo Drift movie. Han said he's like, what, you think I'm gonna let you roll in a Hyundai? He's like, yeah, you're representing me now. And it was kind of like a bash against Hyundai, but they've stepped up to the game since the Genesis, and I guess they were going for something different with the Veloster other than like a fast car. And I didn't look into the, their statements on why that car or anything, but there's no reason for that car. I'm actually going to take the camera to go, so this really isn't going to be completing a car talk, but we'll walk and talk. The two last cars are the Reliant Robin and the Beetle. We'll talk about that as we go. So, hey, look, you can actually see us. We're real people now. So the Reliant Robin, and we're gonna walk past someone who's gonna be like, what the hell are they doing? So the Reliant Robin, Top Gear actually did a special on that.
I guess why it's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome in the word. Like, I feel like that's the car that you get someone to prank them.
Right.
You're like, oh, I got you a brand new Reliant Robin, so that they can just have a terrible time. If you don't know what the Reliant Robin is, like, I don't want to go into a whole lot of explanation, but it's a 3-door car that has some balance issues when you try to turn at speed. That said, you should just watch the Top Gear thing on it. It's funny. It's really good entertainment. And there's actually a couple of them. Not only do they have the Reliant Robin trying to drive it without flipping it, they've got the Reliant Robin where they go to like some rocket scientists and try to launch it.
I remember that episode.
And they tried to launch it, but the point of their challenge was that they had to launch it, it had to come back down, and then they had to drive it. So there's that. Anyway, and then the final thing on my list was the Beetle. The Beetle was, like, it's just not my kind of car visually. That's what it is. And they're okay, I guess. They're just not my kind of car. There's one company, actually, to the best of my knowledge, there was only one guy, and maybe someone else has done it, but a while back, there was a guy in Florida. He actually owns a shop, and he took the Volkswagen Beetle and then used the floor plan from, if I'm not mistaken, the R32, the Volkswagen R32, and made an all-wheel drive, if I'm not mistaken, it was an all-wheel drive turbo Beetle convertible. And that would be interesting, but that's it. So I don't know. This kind of concludes that. We probably should have started recording earlier in our trip, but we got a 20-minute, video now. Yesterday was 22 minutes, and that's it. But anyway, we'll see you next week because it's the Christmas holiday, and so no one's going to be around, and we'll deliberate on the topic then.
Peace.